Hello, this is Devin Luongo, and I'm presenting my XKCD password generator. I figure I'd like to start by talking about what my preferences are for web applications, and I tend to favor applications that are a little bit simpler, but always just work. I like things that uh, focus on doing less but do them really well, as opposed to things that focus on doing more and become overly complicated. So as a result, I may have made some decisions that buck the trend a little bit when it comes to validation. I know normally the way a form would validate, especially if I were entering a username or a password or something like that, is if I entered an incorrect set of text, or I didn't enter a required field, it would throw an error, the form wouldn't run, and it would tell me to alter my submission. In this case, I didn't think that was necessary because people are coming here to generate a random password. So if they enter incorrect parameters, I didn't see a reason why we wouldn't want to just run it with default parameters and give them a choice. So in this case, I throw an error that says you must enter a number if the user enters a number of words and it's not a valid digit. And I think that's effective. This way they still get to see how it works, and then if they want to change it, they can enter a different value. It will remove the error, and it will provide them with a password that fits their custom settings. Additionally, for validation with a separator, I thought about providing a list of accepted separators, but I figured it was better to kind of put the power in the user's hands so they can choose whatever separator they want. It can be a number, a letter, a symbol, or any combination of the above, and it will run and it will put those separators in between each of the words. Finally, I made sure that whatever the user's custom settings were remained after the page refreshed. So in case I came here and I was like, okay, I want to generate a password with these custom settings, but I want to find one that I resonate with and that I can remember, they can come here and they can click this a handful of times and get a number of different passwords that they can choose from. That similar line of thinking is why I printed out 5 passwords instead of just one, because if I was trying to find a rather long password that was random but that I resonated with and that I liked, I wouldn't want to have to click that each time I wanted to look at a password. At the same time, I think I saw some of the other password generators where they were like long lists of like 10 passwords, and it just seemed like too much to read through. So I thought this was a good balance. With regards to the code, I wrote all of the HTML and CSS and almost all of the PHP from scratch, with the exception of my get words function, which I modified from a question and answer from Stack Overflow, because I wanted to learn how to do web scraping with a DOM scraper, and I wasn't sure how to do that in PHP. So it is fairly different, but the base code was modified from somewhere else. I think that is pretty much it. Anyway, I'm kind of happy with it. I don't love the way it looks. If I was gonna work on this some more, I'd probably want to adjust the CSS. I don't think I'd want to add too many more features. I think this is probably the core set of features that I would really want in a password generator. The only other one that I considered was possibly entering a minimum length, which could be valuable, but I couldn't really see a scenario where you wouldn't want to vary the length by the number of words. So yeah, and then the last thing is that I did do the optional part where I scraped together a dictionary list of words from the provided website. And the way that I made sure not to overload or leverage their resources was to store all of those web pages in a folder locally and then upload that to the server. So instead of referencing their HTML, I'm referencing the stored HTML pages in the exact same way that I would have referenced their HTML. Awesome, thank you. I hope you guys have a wonderful week.